Hey ladies, today's lesson is going to partially be a lesson about triangles. Maybe you can tell from the figure here. I think once in class I said that the triangle is the most important shape on the SAT, and I still think that's true. All right, so let's jump in. This is actually question 18 on the no calculator section of your SAT practice test. And in question 18, they tell us that we have two isosceles triangles. See them? Here and here. If 180 minus z equals 2y and y equals 75, what is the value of x? So let's write those out. 180 minus z equals 2y. I hope you can see that. And y equals 75. We need to find x. And x is here. All right, so we already have one of our angle values, right? We know this is 75 degrees over here where y is. And do we know right off the bat how y and x are related? No, I don't think so. This figure does not make it obvious how x and y are related. So we don't know what x has to do with y yet, right? When you get stuck, especially on a math problem for the SAT, take a look at what you already know and what information you have and what you can solve for with that information. It's kind of like not knowing the steps 3 steps down or 4 steps down, but being able to figure out the next step and then letting the next step lead you to the next step and moving on that way. So here we know we've got y equals 75, and we also have an equation where we could plug 75 in to solve for z. So that doesn't get us quite to x, but maybe it gets us closer, right? So let's do that. So 180 minus z equals 2 times 75. 180 minus z is equal to 150. Remember, this is no calculator, so if you couldn't do this one in your head, then you'd have to multiply it out, right? So we have z is equal to 30. So we know what our z is. Do we know what x is? Maybe not. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to just draw out just this triangle, just to make it maybe a little bit more clear for you what we have. So we've got z, and then we've got the two lines that make z are the same, right? And that's what's indicated here by these double slashes. And then x is over here. And we've got to find x, but we have z. So what do we know? We know the number of degrees of all the angles in a triangle. So we know that z plus, let's say this angle, angle 1 over here, plus this angle, let's say angle 2, is equal to how many degrees? 180 degrees. 180 degrees in any triangle. And here is where the quick refresher on isosceles triangles is really important. What do we know about A1 and A2? In this case, we know that A1 and A2 are equal to each other. It's just one angle, just A. And that's because these lines are equal to each other, the measurement of these lines. So it's really important in an isosceles triangle to figure out which two angles are the same and which is the one angle that is different. And the angle that is different is the angle that is made up of by the two lines of equal length. Okay, so now that we know that A1 and A2 are really just the same angle, just A, we know that Z plus 2A is equal to 180. We know Z is 30 plus 2A equals 180. We can solve for A, right? 2A is equal to 180 minus 30, which is equal to 150. So A is equal to 150 divided by 2, because we're dividing by 2 on both sides. So A is equal to 75. What do you think? Are we done? No, video's not over yet. We have to find x. How is x related to a? Well, we know the total number of angles in this line because it's a straight line, right? So there has to be 180 degrees. If you forget that, just think about it like this. This is 180, and if you loop all the way around again, you have 180 plus 180 is 360, and that's your circle, 360 degrees in a circle. So anyway, back to our problem. We know that a plus x equals 180, right? 75 plus x is 180, which means x is equal to 105. And that's your answer. You'd have to write it in and then bubble in the 1, the 0, and the 5. And that's it. I hope that you guys are doing okay. Miss you. Have a good Thursday and a good weekend, and hopefully talk to you soon.